Shape-shifting little pranksters who love to start fights and go after drunks. We're talking about the Irish PÚCA.
Welcome to the Not So Scary Podcast, where we discuss tales, creatures, and legends that did not keep us up at night.
Hey everyone, I'm Trix. I'm one of your hosts.
And I'm Chris.
Tell me, Chris, have you heard of the PÚCA?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
The Pookie?
PÚCA?
The Pookie, the ones that little crackheads use?
What?
You never heard of the Pookie? Oh my. You're so innocent.
Did you say crackheads?
Yeah, you never heard of the Pookie? They hit the Pookie?
No, what is that? Is that the pipe?
Yeah, they hit the Pookie. It's like how you hit crack.
Oh.
It's a ghetto term.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Oh, well. I have no...
Never done it.
Lame.
Oh, great.
I'm just kidding. Well, I apparently don't know slang that well. I thought I did, but I guess I'm not cool.
Yeah. No, the Puku?
PÚCA.
Puka.
I also don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly, but it's spelled the version I saw was PU with the little dash CA, and then I've also seen it spelled POOCA. So I didn't know about this little creature, and neither did my husband, who is 5th generation Irish, so I guess I could forgive him for not knowing this.
Kind of.
Yeah, he should know.
No.
He should know.
Yeah, he should.
But the PÚCA I learned about because I started researching fairies because I didn't know what fairies were. And
Wait.
I came... Yeah.
The little things that float, or like the deeper
So I
meaning?
just didn't... That's the thing. I didn't know what fairies were. I feel like I had a very wrong...
You had a very Disney mentality of it, right?
Yeah, I had a very Disney, like Tinkerbell,
That's
you know?
exactly what I was about to say right now, like Tinkerbell. But it's not at all.
Yeah, but it's... No.
Oh.
Fairies are like a whole thing.
Oh, okay.
And the PÚCA is a fairy. So I came to the conclusion that fairies are very similar to the duendes.
The Power Rangers? They're like different. They have different powers?
Yeah, they have different powers.
Okay.
They fuck with humans.
Okay.
Some of them are like bad. They're not, well, I don't know if Tinkerbell is good. Is she good?
I don't know.
She's like... I'm not even going to start that debate. So this is one of them. And they come in all shapes and sizes. And they do some crazy stuff to annoy or help humans. So before we get into the actual legend, the PÚCA does have... I think it had like multiple songs, but the one that I happened to find was by a band called PÚCA. Yeah. And I found their song that's called 7 Drunken Nights. And just based off of the title alone, just imagine what it sounds like, and it probably sounds like
Typical
that. Like,
Irish band.
Yeah, it's like just so... yeah. Which I do. I listen to Irish music.
Me too. I like the Mornings, Dropkick Murphys.
Dropkick Murphys are the shit.
What's the other band too? They're big, and I love them too. God, I love them so much that I forgot the name. It's the other one that's big, like Dropkick Murphys. Drunken Lullabies. They sing Drunken Lullabies. Okay.
Yeah, I have that song in my playlist.
That. No,
I love terrible.
I love it. Yeah.
Yeah. But aside from just like modern music, I think that there are songs that describe the PÚCA, like Irish folklore songs about the PÚCA, but I wasn't able to find any. Mm-hmm. But I thought that was cool. So surface level stuff that we know about the PÚCA, it's a fairy, and it is a shapeshifter, and the most popular version of what it shapeshifts to is a huge black horse.
Oh,
though I've seen conflicting stuff about it, but the most popular version, it's a black horse. And the black horse version of the PÚCA is set to go after drunks. And so basically, it's like
every story we listen to is just these guys are problems.
I know. And so, you know, the PÚCA's just like posting somewhere as a horse, just like eyeing out, like just looking out for drunks. And there's a drunk that's stumbling around trying to get home. And then the PÚCA just like flies in, gets the drunk on its back, and then just goes on the least fun horse ride of this drunk person's life, which is so messed up. And it's so bad. The ride is so bad that it could make some people sober after that. And then most of the time they don't remember because I'm sure they get a concussion.
No, they're just blacked out drunk.
Yeah, not only are they drunk, but then they're like swinging around. Yeah,
they forget half their life already. What happened?
And also, of course, this little foal is in all the beautiful rural places in Ireland because why not?
Of course.
But a horse is not the only animal that it could shapeshift into. It could also turn into a dog or a rabbit or a raven or even the most disgusting animal of all, a human.
Crazy.
In human form, it is said that the PÚCAs are that one neighbor that knows everyone's business, but somehow they know everyone's business, but no one has seen them around. So have you heard of The Watcher?
The comic book, yeah.
No, this is like a real story.
No.
Oh, okay, so that happened across the Atlantic in New Jersey. There was this couple who bought a house, and then some salty-ass fool just kept writing them really disturbing letters. And so they ended up like not being able to move into the house because the letters were like too terrifying. But they were never able to find out who wrote those letters.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it's really creepy. But for some reason, like it came to, I was like, that's a PÚCA.
That's a PÚCA.
So the PÚCA loves to cause drama and spread rumors, and then they sit back and watch all kinds of stuff happen from what they said. And I wish that there was more stories about that because I'd love to read them. But the PÚCA, I feel, could be very good friends with Maria Chismosa.
That's exactly what I was going to say. It's like, dude, that's just the Irish version of our tia, you know? It's our aunt, dude. That's all it is. It's just across the sea.
Yeah, but like no one knows her. Everyone's like, where'd she come from? Like, how did she know all of this stuff about me? But yeah, so Maria Chismosa and the PÚCA could be really close friends.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So for anyone who doesn't know what we're talking about, we have an episode of Maria Chismosa, which is a really fun episode. So I encourage you to listen to it.
It's Maria the Nosy Maria?
Nosy Maria,
Nosy Maria, yeah. Mm-hmm. Crazy. You know one. We all know one.
We all know. So like the duendes, the PÚCA can also not be super annoying and help humans. But you just need to give it something because this creature is not working for free. Come on. Oh,
God. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a story where the PÚCA helps this shoemaker in making shoes, and then he like set him up for life. And I was like, that was really nice. That was really nice of the PÚCA. November 1st is PÚCA Day because it's around the time of Samhain, which I totally mispronounced in our cats episode, so I apologize for that.
Samhain?
Samhain, but it's spelled Samhain. But it's Gaelic, which I don't know how to read Gaelic.
Yeah, so it's pronounced Samhain.
Right, I know. I should have asked him first.
I don't fucking know.
No, he does. He does.
Oh, he does?
He does.
That's okay.
No,
wow.
He doesn't know Gaelic. He doesn't know like a lot of Gaelic, but he definitely knows Samhain.
Yeah, he would know the difference where we're like, it's Halloween. No, it's
Samhain.
Huey. I don't know.
Samhain.
No, yeah.
It's not that hard.
No, I'm talking. As an example. Oh my.
I thought you were struggling with that word.
I was saying like he's gonna make us like say Halloween, like Halloween's being said wrong. That's really
probably,
Huey.
Yeah.
It's a joke, but then you go on. Hurry up, go on. Where's the Pookie when you need him?
November 1st, people leave out food or harvest for the puka so that it doesn't destroy their crops.
Jeez.
And some people are scared of eating some fruits, especially when they're ripe, because they say that the puka probably spit on it and it's poisoned. So that's our little puka. One last thing I'd like to mention before we go into the story. There was this one article I found that said that if you have Irish blood flowing in you, a puka is always watching, which I didn't take it as a threat when I read it. I thought it was kind of sweet, but now that I said it out loud, it kind of sounds like a threat.
Just listen to it, you're like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
You're just cursed.
He's just like watching my husband, just like...
behind the curtain, peeking his little eyes. Little fairy.
Yeah. Which, one of the pictures that I found of the puka looks just like one of my cats. The all-white one.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it's the cutest little thing.
Isn't that the one you guys saved? No.
Yeah, that's the one we rescued. Because he's crazy. Yeah, they're about to euthanize his little punk ass, and then we got him. Yeah, he could be a puka. He could 100% be a puka.
Yeah, coincidence you guys found them, and what a coincidence he got saved.
I mean, Irish blood. Yeah. He has to keep a lookout.
He's like, how am I going to be in his life? Oh, they're going to save me, watch.
Yeah, they're going to save me.
He knew.
Jerk. So there are a lot of stories, but a lot of them are verbal because it's folklore. But I did find a few that were really fun. And then there's this one that I'm sharing because it's kind of long. So that's going to be the only one for today. It was a crazy story the first time I read it. So I hope you like it as much as I do.
Like earlier when you said it out loud. You know what?
I know. I'm like, how drunk was I that night? All right. Are you ready?
Yes.
Once upon a time in the olden days of Ireland, I'm not going to do the accent. I just can't do it. There was this dude who played the pipes. He wasn't famous or anything, and those who did know him knew that he only played one song called The Black Rogue. So that was his jam, and that was his only jam, and he was happy with it. He was like the aliens in the Family Guy episode about Star Wars, where they're playing the cantina, and they're like, play the same song.
You guys have any recommendations? Play the same song. Okay.
Yeah. That is 100% our dude right now.
Oh, hell yeah.
So one dark night, I'm assuming it was darker than most, after he played his little jam and used his tips to buy himself a few beers at the pub, he decided it was time to go home. He walked a little bit, and he was about to cross a little bridge near his mom's home, which, if I understood correctly, I think he also lived with his mom. Then a puka jumped out in its horse form and swept his foal up, put him on his back. And the piper was obviously super drunk and upset, and now he's on top of this wild horse, and he's like getting further away from his mom's house. He was really confused. And so he started cussing at the horse, and the puka told him that he better focus on keeping his balance, because if he falls, not only will the pipes be fucked up, but then he'll break his neck. So the puka asked him if he knew how to play this song called The Poor Old Woman. And the piper, embarrassed, admitted that no, he only knew how to play one song. So I imagine the puka was like, well, shit, I picked the wrong guy. But the puka is a puka, so it told the piper not to fret. The puka will make sure that he knows how to play that other song. So the piper played a fine tune to show that he could at least play the pipes, and the puka was astonished. They had a little moment, like, bro, like, don't put yourself down, you know? And then I imagine the piper being like, thanks, man. Thanks for believing in me.
I needed that.
I needed that.
You want to hear the song again?
I know. You want to hear the same song.
You want to hear the same song?
But then the piper remembered that he's still on the back of this puka with no idea where they're heading. So he finally asked the puka where they were going. The puka said that there was a party going on at this house of the Banshee, and the piper is being brought there to be the entertainment for the night. The piper then asked about his pay. He wasn't going to do this for free and kidnapped. Like, that's messed up. And so the puka told him not to worry. He will get what he's asking for. The Piper was a bit uneasy, but then he saw where they were headed. And he said that the PÚCA saved him a trip to this specific mountain, which I'm not even going to pronounce. It's like Croagh Patrick, because a priest had set a penance for him to go there since he stole one of the father's geese. When they got to the secret place in the mountain, the PÚCA stomped on the ground 3 times, and suddenly the floor opened up for them. They proceeded to enter this ancient place with a low roof and a huge gold table where 100 old women sat around it. And they weren't just any old women. They were, and I'm going to mispronounce this, Kailisha, I think. And they are old women who are credited with creating mountains and hills. So they are true artists. The old ladies welcomed the PÚCA, but they were a little sus about the Piper. He's human. He had no business being there. The PÚCA calmed everyone down and said that he's the best piper in all of Ireland. Then out of nowhere, the same goose that the Piper had stolen from the father and ate in a soup came out, clearing the table. The Piper was so confused because he was sure that he ate that goose. But here it was, just chilling with the old ladies and helping them clean after them. The PÚCA told the Piper to start playing. And play he did, all the tunes, and the old ladies stood up and started twerking, getting down. And they danced their little butts off until they were exhausted. So once the party wound down, the PÚCA mentioned to the old ladies to cough up some type of payment for the Piper. And so each of them reached into their pockets and took out a shiny gold coin. The Piper was shocked. He was rich. Not only that, but the goose that he thought he ate came up to him and gave him new shiny set of pipes to play with. The PÚCA was nice enough to take him back home, and in 2 winks and a sneeze, they were back at Dunmore where his mom lived. When the PÚCA dropped him off, he was basically like, "You're welcome, homie. Now you have some sense of music, which you didn't have before." So the Piper, probably like super high from this experience, was so excited when he got to his mom's. The mom was not convinced, obviously. She thought he was super drunk still. But the Piper insisted that he's so much better now, and they're rich. Neighbors started to come out of their house being all chismosos, and then they gathered around like, "Okay, well, show us what you got." So he pulled his new set of pipes, and when he played, nothing but the sound of geese came out of those pipes. So people laughed at him. And he was like, "Yeah, well, we still got a ton of money." But then when he looked, all the gold had turned into leaves. So he went back to his old pipes. But if there's one thing the PÚCA was right about, was that now he had more sense of music. So when he played the old pipes, he played beautifully, and people really liked him. So even though they ripped him off, and the goose got back at him for almost eating it, he still managed to learn to play more music. And not only that, but played it beautifully until he died in Galway. So I kind of feel bad for this guy.
Well, he got better.
Yeah, he got better.
So he probably made more money now.
I hope so. That's the version I want to believe.
Yeah, you know?
Like he traveled, he toured around.
Yeah, like, you know, it's a deeper meaning. It's like money's not everything, you know? It's
music is everything.
Oh,
yeah.
Crazy. Oh. Okay, well.
I guess we both have different definitions.
Yeah.
But yeah, this story was written, very Irish, which was a joy to read, but I obviously cannot. If I had read the actual story, like, you wouldn't have understood me. But the link to that specific story is in the show notes for all the nerds who want to read it. So I did find a real story from 2006 about this guy who met this other guy who knew everything about him and his family, even though they had never met. And according to this dude, the PÚCA was disguised as a human, businessman, and told him about financial ruin coming soon. And then the months that followed, the dude saw his business just crash. So he was like, "That was the PÚCA, and he brought me misfortune." But I was like, the PÚCA warned you.
Yeah. And
So I didn't really see the connection. Yeah.
I was like, he told you about it, so you should see the decline.
Or do something about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's his fault.
Yeah, it's his fault.
He should have took the leaves. The leaves and
just everything turned to leaves.
Yeah.
So as always, how do we make the PÚCA a little scarier and a little more modern in today's world?
It's a little stalker, right?
Yeah, he's just posting up, waiting for drunk people to like put on his back.
But then, he doesn't do anything bad, so how could we help?
Yeah, no, he's a cutie.
He kind of
doesn't do anything
guides them, takes him to these old ladies, which create.
Yeah, he probably had the best time of his life.
Yeah, dude, he's taking you to the after party.
Yeah,
come on, dude, you're gonna learn some shit.
Yeah,
how do we make him scary? Okay, the stalker part is scary.
Stalker part is scary. I think being drunk, and I think being drunk on top of a horse. I mean, I don't think I've ever ridden a horse before, so I don't know what that's like. But I can't imagine it's fun if you're drunk.
But you also shapeshift.
He does shapeshift.
Shapeshift to your worst fear.
Or because he just kind of takes people to mountains or something. Yeah, maybe he takes you. I wish I knew more Irish lore, but I know that there's bad fairies that do really bad things.
Yeah, this one doesn't sound that bad.
Yeah, so maybe he takes you to the bad fairies.
So you decided his fate. Yeah. And the 100 old ladies are the 100 fairies.
Yeah.
It's like a court of fairies. And they're
they're there just to judge you.
Yeah.
That's terrifying.
And fairy number 5, you're the fairy of death or the fairy of fear.
What do you think about this motherfucker?
I think fairy number 67 should take him. It could be that. I don't know.
Yeah. I do like to keep him as a horse. Well, but that doesn't work in the city.
A car. It's a Waymo.
He turns into boom.
It's a Waymo. The doors open in.
That's it.
You get sucked in.
But he has his own company, and it's called
It's like that movie Christine.
With yep. That's the
I've never seen that movie.
I haven't either. Oh, have I? I read the book because it's Stephen King, right?
Yeah. Stephen King. But it's Christine. It could be Christine, that kind of thing. But it's a Waymo to make it more modern.
Yeah, it's and then it's just a PÚCA. I'm gonna get in the PÚCA.
You want to hit the Pookie? No.
Yeah, you want to.
And if you do, I don't know. It takes you to the building. Takes you to the top of the building, where you meet 100 executives, and they're all telling you your fucking story sucks. I'm kidding.
Well, I was gonna say, because the PÚCA could also bring misfortune and fuck with businesses, it would be cool if maybe the PÚCA goes after CEOs who refuse to pay their employees fairly.
Okay. I'm down with that.
That's their demon.
Yeah. Oh, no, we have to pay people more.
Yeah, and then the PÚCA shows up as a Waymo. If he fucks with finances like that, then he should go after CEOs.
Yeah, because even the older story and the newer story, it has finance, the goals and stuff like that. Yeah, because at the end of the day, you're going to get a moral, a moral-driven story. But where does he take them?
I think the place that they fear the most, the hood. with the Pookie or
with
whatever.
With
the Pookies.
All the crackhead.
Yeah, that's where he takes. He just dumps them there. It's
and the crackheads are fairies, and they're hitting the Pookie because that's their fairy dust. They're just high as fuck the whole time. That makes way more sense. That makes so much sense. What do you mean? The fairies are crackheads hitting the Pookie. It makes sense. Yes.
Yeah, but I think that's where he dumps the CEOs until they pay their employees.
Instead of random alley.
Yeah, random alley.
Oh, that's scary.
Yeah, I think that's the city version of the PÚCA.
Yeah, right? The Waymo's the horse.
Mm-hmm.
Picks you up. Takes you in because it takes you to the crack fairies. hitting the Pookie. And they decide your fate.
Yep. 100 of those on that golden table.
Jesus Christ. The golden table. Damn.
Yeah, they're fairies or banshee. See, that's the thing. I don't know.
Right.
We're gonna
They're
slowly
banshees.
start to unpack these because, yeah.
They're banshees. You're right, and
they're that old lady that I don't know how to pronounce.
That created mountains.
Yeah. Thanks for listening, everyone. What's our next episode, Chris?
The Philosopher's Stone or the Sorcerer's Stone?
Our music is done by Killer Worms. Our art is done by Squishy Panda and Ghostface Wizard. And for all the nerds, reference links are in the show notes. Thanks so much for listening.